Meowdy! Hello, hello. Welcome, Pomodachis. How are you? So, now the results have been released. Let me get up the poll really quick. So, it turns out Nurse Poneko won in the end. What do you guys think? Are you happy? Are you sad? Is this the worst news you've received this whole year? What do you guys think? I don't know, for me, I felt like I would be happy with either one, so I'm not mad. But yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the nurse outfit. You know, I honestly was kind of surprised by how nice you guys were being. You guys gave some pretty decent things to choose from. Nothing really cringy. You know, I feel like if Uni was the one doing the poll, there'd be two options, like bald and comb over Uni or something. Or bald or muscle Uni. So I was surprised a little bit, but it was a pleasant surprise. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cooler. I know you would have liked to see the Mecha Poneko, but in these trying times, let me offer you something to ease the pain just a little bit. I have like a Pobot outfit. Let me get it up really quick. Who is the artist for this again? I have like a bunch of folders just like with commissions and stuff. Oh, that's a little bit big. But this is what I have right now. So hopefully this can ease your pain just a little bit. Robot Poneko. There we go. That was drawn, by the way, by Hassie Soda on Twitter. She's a really good artist. There's also another version, too, that I think I posted before. But, oh, my screen just exploded. What just happened? Mecha Poneko, no! Don't ruin my screen! But meowdy, everybody! Hello, Missy. Hello, Caleb. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Cooler. Hello, Caballero. Yeah. Ami. Hello, everybody. Meowdy, meowdy. The Mecha Poneko lives on, sort of. Yeah, I mean, if anything, it would have been kind of unfair to the nurse people if the Mecha won, since I already have this. So, in the end, I think you guys can't be too upset by the results. Meowdy, Johnny Cat. Hello, hello. I was surprised, though. I feel like nurses don't really seem to be as popular nowadays as they used to. I don't know. I feel like in the early 2010s and even just the early 2000s, like, the nurse archetype was really, really popular. In anime, there were, like, a bunch more nurses. I mean, who's the last anime nurse that you can think of? And be honest, because I can't really think of any from prior to, like, 2010 that were actually important characters in the show, you know? It doesn't really seem to be as popular. Also, Meowdy Joshua and Meowdy Crook, hello, hello! Welcome, and hello, Aryatin. Hello, hello. I can't be mad. The nurse people deserve the nurse Poneko. Yes, I'll be becoming a nurse. Have you guys heard about the stereotype about nurse girls being really mean? Like, girls in high school that were the mean girls grew up and became nurses. Do you think that's true? I've heard that it's true, but I don't know. I haven't personally seen that, but I do feel like people in nursing professions tend to attract like two core demographics, at least in the United States. One of them being Filipino people, and the other being kind of Karen types a bit. I feel like those are the two most common stereotypical nurses in America. Do you think that's accurate? Is it different in your country? Do you agree? No? Girls that were meh ended up as nurses? No, mean! Mean girls. I've been seeing it a lot on the internet, people talking about like the mean girls that were kind of bullies growing up turned into nurses. And I can see how they would say that, because some of the nurses on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that can kind of be a little bit of the obnoxious type, but I feel like in the day-to-day it's probably different. But I don't know. I did like one class in community college where there was a large amount of nursing students and they seemed to be mostly normal. You know? They didn't really seem worse than other majors for the nursing major itself. I think maybe it was kind of interesting that a lot of them wanted to be nurses but knew nothing about biology. That was kind of funny, kind of an interesting choice, but this was community college after all. I was probably like a freshman or a sophomore at the time, so what can I say? Meowdy, Kozako, hello. Welcome. As South Park mentioned, naughty nurses too. Yes. I do feel like nurses used to be more popular. Just in media in general, and especially in anime. I would see a lot more anime nurses drawn. Nowadays, I mean, I guess it's always been maids. Maids have always been popular. But, I don't know. What are the other different archetypes that are really popular nowadays? Maids have been popular since forever. I feel like they were also more popular in like the early 2000s though, into like early 2010s. Same with shrine maidens, really. I don't know. Schoolgirls has been popular forever. Are archetypes just in general becoming less popular? Is this just a general trend? I'm not sure. Also, Meowdy Samurai Robe, welcome, and hello, Johnny. Oh, you're gonna be starting college 2 weeks from now. Good luck. I hope it goes well. I think, for me personally, I went to community college and then transferred, and I liked that more because I saved a lot of money, so I recommend it. Plus also, if you aren't certain about your major and what you want to do, it's good to go to a community college where everything costs a lot less money than having to commit everything and being locked into that major as much. Honestly, just a ton of cosplay. That's true, cosplay has become more popular in recent years than it used to be. But I feel like that might be the only archetype that's become more popular. Because I just remember seeing more different types of stereotypical anime characters, like maids and shrine maidens, nurses, all that jazz. I don't know. I didn't really see that many doctors. There were a few scientist characters, though. And, you know, there will always be schoolgirls. Probably less nowadays, though, because isekais are so much more popular. You don't really have as many anime set in a school setting as you used to. So that's kind of interesting. No, some archetypes and tropes are still pretty popular. Yeah, I was about to say, I guess traps are more popular now? I misread it at first when you said tropes, because the O kind of looks like an A, and so I was like, yeah, traps are more popular now. Oops. Samus Zero Suit has become a popular archetype. Are you talking about, like, pretty girls dressed up as masculine men, or, like, wearing bulky clothes so that you don't really know that they're girls? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, the skin tight suit. You're talking about, like, the... Oh, traps? Those are never gonna die. Yeah. I mean, they've always been popular, but I feel like a lot more so now. Or at least a lot more so, like, in the last 5 years. I think that can generally be attributed to Astaflo, even though Hideyoshi is the best. Real people know. No look up Zero Suit Samus. Oh, you're just talking about the bodysuit. Yeah, I feel like bodysuits have always been pretty popular, though. Like in, Lollipop Chainsaw and stuff like that. Yandere's. Yeah. I remember we've talked about that before. I was more talking about, like, costume types, though, than personality types, but yandere's have definitely become more popular now, and tsundere's have kind of died off, so. But yeah, mecha animes usually make use of skin-tight suits. That's very true. Honestly, that's the best thing about mecha animes. I don't really care that much about the mechas themselves. Really, the mech part of the mecha anime is always my least favorite part. Like, it was my least favorite part of Code Geass, my least favorite part of Evangelion. I mean, I just don't like mechs. I don't like seeing them. I'd rather see fighting scenes with characters rather than robots, but that's just me. Bro, the mech part are the best part. Maybe. Not for me, though. Not for me. I could do without it. But part of that is just because I'm not really that big of a fan of action in general, and mecha shows rely so much on action, so I don't know. I feel like another common theme in mecha shows, from what I've noticed, is like political intrigue. And I think that part can be pretty interesting, but it's always like pulling teeth to get me to watch a mecha show. A good mech was Gundam the Witch from Mercury. I've heard that's really good. I actually have never watched a single Gundam anime before. I know. I'm not a real weeb. But that's mainly just because of the mechs, to be honest. I didn't want to watch it because I knew that there were going to be a lot of mech content, so I just didn't. I did see a giant life-size Gundam statue, though, when I went to Japan. Yeah, it was in Yokohama. It was really big. It moved, but it didn't really do anything. Honestly, it moved less than my VTuber model does. It was like... And then maybe it lifted one of its feet. It didn't really do that much, but it was cool. Muv-Luv was the best mecha anime for me for reasons and reasons. I actually bought Muv-Luv recently for the visual novel. Not super recently. I bought it like 6 months ago or something when it was on sale, but I still haven't played it yet. I really want to, though. Every single visual novel person that I know always talks about how good Muv-Luv is, and I really want to play it because it has that perfect older anime aesthetic, and I've just heard it's nice. Even though it has mechs, I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. But look at this, though, for Muv-Luv. Do you see the hair vents? Do you see these hair vents? Oh my god, it's perfect. Yeah, that's why I got my hair vents too. They're a little bit smaller than theirs though. But you know what? Better small than not at all, right? Gasp, which one? Alternative Extra? It was the first one, I think. Yeah, it's just in Steam as Muv-Luv. So I believe it's the first of the series. I've heard it's a pretty long series though. Like 80 hours. I got through Higurashi though, so it probably won't be too difficult. I don't think it'll be too painful. Also, Meowdy Spooky, hello. You love mecha. Aw, I'm glad to hear it. I do like looking at mechas. It's just, I don't like seeing them fight. I don't like seeing mecha on mech violence. Alternative was the first one I played, even though it was the third entry. But it was easily one of my favorite visual novels. I'm glad to hear it. I never watched Code Geass, Evangelion, or any of the Gundam shows, but giant robots are cool. They are cool. There are just too many of them. They're too big, and they're on the screen too much. I can only imagine a Metroid movie. I mean, I feel like that could be really good, but Hollywood would probably mess it up like they're messing up every other live-action movie right now, so be careful what you wish for. Yeah, I don't know about that. Where's some other mecha shows that I've watched? I haven't really watched that many, partially just because I watched the first episode and I just immediately drop it. I'm like, too many mechs. Too many mechs. 45 of the best mecha anime ever. Seems like half of this list is just Gundam. I didn't watch that one show. What's it called? Darling in the Franxx. I heard it was good in the beginning, but then had a really bad ending. I also just wasn't really that interested in it. Even though the pink-haired girl, I don't remember her name, even though I think she's really cute, the main character seems boring. I would not be able to pick out the main character in a lineup. I can tell you that much. He would be getting away with murder if I saw him kill somebody. I'd have no idea who he was. Alright, Darling in the Franxx is kind of weird in my opinion. I don't know. I haven't watched it, but I've just heard that they really, really dropped the ball on the ending. Yeah. I doubt that they dropped the ball as hard, though, as, like, Erased did. Oh my god. That was rough. Nakalea, I think that the pink-haired girl is kind of overrated. Zero, right? Is that her name? I don't remember. But I think she's really pretty. I don't know anything about her personality, but I really like her design. I mean, pink with the red bodysuit and the little horns. She's very, very cute. I did like SSSS Gridman. Yeah, I've heard that one's good too. I think I watched another sort of similar show, Gotcha Man something? Gotcha Man Crowds. Yeah, that show. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't ever finish it, but that had like human-sized mechas in it. And it had really interesting character designs, but I only watched like 5 episodes, so I don't really remember. Yeah, Darling in the Franxx got treated really bad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah. Speaking, though, of archetypes and things like that, I think Shrine Maidens are probably my favorite. Of, like, the stereotypical character type. Not personality, but just in terms of design. I just really like the red and white color scheme together. I think it's really cute. Maids are always going to be really cute, but I think there's a lot of diversity in the maid outfit. Some of them I really, really like. Others I'm not really as big of a fan of. I think when it's just overtly sexy, it's kind of boring. But also if it's just kind of cute, it's also a little bit boring too. I like the more traditional maid outfit. I think it's really cute with the longer skirt. And it's just more memorable because nowadays it's hard to remember all the different maid uniforms, but they all blend in together because they're kind of boring. Po Sanae team or Reimu? I'm a Reimu girl. I like both of them though. I like both of them a lot, but I like Reimu because I think it's funny how she genocides the yokai heathens. That was more a meme in the past, but I just like Reimu the best. She's the most iconic, you know. Definitely the most iconic Shrine Maiden in all of media, probably. Not even just anime, but just media in general. I mean, there's also Hanyu and probably is Kagome a Shrine Maiden? Oh yeah, she is. She might be more famous than Reimu. I'm not sure. I don't really know. It's disappointing how often people are weird about maids. Yeah, people can be kind of weird about them too. I like Shrine Maidens because of Pocky and Rocky. Aww. Speaking of yokai, anyone watch the anime Yokai Watch? I have not, but I remember seeing a lot of really cute children-themed merch for it when I was younger. And I wanted to watch it, but I don't think that was on TV at that time. Sad. It was just on TV, I think, in Japan, not in the US. Yeah. The US could have made, or not the US, but like Cartoon Network and stuff could have made a lot more money if they would have adapted more anime, I think, for younger audiences. Unfortunately, they only did it for like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. But if you think about it, for the ones that they did adapt, they ended up being huge in the West. So maybe if they would have done more, their power wouldn't really be as high, their power level. I don't know. It's so hard finding official merch for it. Most of my collection is bootleg, but don't tell anyone. It's our little secret, spooky. Yokai Watch was much better than the Pokemon anime. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, a lot of kids liked Pokemon, and I never really watched Pokemon. I just watched general weeb anime shows, but I didn't want people thinking I was watching a kids show. So I'd always be like, Pokemon is nothing like anime. I would never watch stupid Pokemon. or Naruto. Yeah, I was definitely an early hipster when it came to that. I was like, no Pokemon, no Dragon Ball, no Naruto. But yeah, I kind of wish that Pokemon would have taken the manga path. Really? I don't know. I do feel like the Pokemon anime is really, really iconic though. And definitely made lots and lots of money, which is the most important thing. Yes. Because then at least it would have made more sense to me with the games. Yeah, the Pokemon anime doesn't really make that much sense with the games, huh? But I think it's kind of nice that they can stand alone though. Because you don't need to watch past episodes of the Pokemon anime or play past games of Pokemon in order to understand what's going on with it. So I think that's something that's really strong about the series, is each game stands alone really, really well, you know? When I got the change, I'd watch the Anime Network channel wherever I could. Cable providers are a scam. Yeah. I was pretty lucky though. I had the ability to record things on cable, which apparently was kind of uncommon. So I never really had that experience of like getting up in the morning and watching a show that aired at a certain time. I would always just record it and then watch it, which I liked. But I was talking with some of my friends earlier and they were all mentioning how they would like get up and watch like a certain show like 5 o'clock or whatever, and I never did that. I just recorded it. That way I wouldn't have to watch all the ads. I could just skip through it. Sometimes I would have to though. If I clicked on it the second it was recording, you know? Yeah, true. As an independent separate story, it does make sense. Yeah, I think if they complement each other well in that sense, because it's really easy for a newcomer to pick up. That's one of my biggest reasons why I don't want to watch One Piece, because it's so long. I know I'll never catch up. It's like 1,200 episodes or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's so long. It's so long. I don't know how people do it. Yeah, I think the longest anime I ever watched was probably like, I don't know how long JoJo is if you include all of the different seasons and all the episodes, but probably the longest anime I ever watched was either Sailor Moon, Katekyo Hitman Reborn, Shugo Kara. I think those are the longer ones that I watched. I can count on a single hand the number of like 100+ anime episodes I watched. You would need a whole summer vacation and some more, to be honest, to catch up with One Piece. Yeah, I think One Piece is probably more intimidating for someone to pick up than something like Umineko, which is crazy. Which is absolutely nuts, because people who know Umineko is ridiculously long. I once heard that someone watched all of One Piece in 1 week. I don't think that they actually watched it. I think that they put it on like 2 times speed and then slept through it. Or at the very least, they probably didn't process anything. Like if you were to give that person who watched all of One Piece in a single week a test about One Piece, they would fail. No question in my mind. Also, Meowdy Fuzzamandrake played 6 episodes at one time and put them on 1.5 times. Yeah, that's probably what happened. And if you're doing that, can you really say that you watched it? I mean, did you comprehend anything? Yeah, you would not have enough time in a week to play all of One Piece. Let me actually look up how many hours is One Piece. I'm sure that reading One Piece is a lot faster though. Oh my god, guys. Yeah. If you were to watch all of One Piece without any breaks or sleep, it would take you 420 or 17 days. But 420 hours. So, yeah, he was up to no good when he was watching that, I'm sure. up to no good. 24 minutes per episode multiplied by 1,000 episodes. Yeah, it's over 1,000 episodes now. Also, this was written in February 22nd, 2023. So it's probably even more now. It's probably more like 425 or something. 17 days. So that record must have been when One Piece wasn't even at 1K episodes. That's true, Ariton. It was probably... The record was probably reached before it hit 1,000. So... Yeah, Jesus. Why? Oh my god, that is so long. At this point, I'm convinced One Piece would take a month to complete now. Yeah, maybe if you don't sleep or eat, maybe then. Look up how long it'd take to finish all of Sazae-san. Let me look it up. Sazae-san. Hour count. It says 2,250. I was like, 250 episodes? I was like, that's rookie numbers. No, 2,250. Oh my god. Wait a second. This other thing says that there's 7,473. Which is it? Oh. 7,701. Oh my god. But how long are these episodes, though? Are they like 2 minutes? Because that isn't that crazy. Over 2,000? Yeah, over 7,000! Oh my god. It says a total runtime of 37.44 days. Wow. Can you imagine how long that took to animate? Even though it looks kind of, for lack of a better word, ugly. It kind of looks like clip art drawings. It's not bad. It looks sort of similar to the Peanuts style, I suppose. Which definitely isn't ugly by any means, but... Yeah. I mean, how do you even have that much content? Especially for a show like this. Which, I don't know the plot of Sazae-san, but it looks like it's a housewife's adventures. That's my guess, just from the images and from the name. How many adventures possibly could a housewife have? I mean, I'm not one to knock on housewives, but what's going on that warrants 7,000 episodes? Oh crap, I've seen clips of this show, I think. It's literally Japanese Charlie Brown. Yeah, you know what? You reminded me of something. Do you guys remember the Snoopy girls at your school? The girls that were obsessed with Snoopy and obsessed with Charlie Brown for some reason? I never got that. I mean, Snoopy the dog is cute, but the Peanut shows are so freaking boring. They're so bad. I don't know. I don't like them. Also, Meowdy Sarah, hello, welcome. Yeah. And every episode feels the same of... I don't like it. I also just thought it was weird too, because like every single thing that they would own would be Snoopy related, or they would just talk about it. Like, what's there to talk about? The dog doesn't even talk. But I guess Hello Kitty is sort of like the Japanese version of Snoopy, maybe? I don't know. Snoopy, the little bro of Scooby? I wouldn't call him that. Oh, you've never watched Lucky Star? Lucky Star is really good. I would recommend it. Well, it's really good if you like slice of life type shows, because Lucky Star and Azumanga are sort of like the pioneers, in my opinion, of slice of life. They were the first ones to do it, and no one has done it better since. I think that's a pretty accurate way of saying it. But part of that also just is based on my definition of slice of life, something that we've talked about before. I don't really consider shows that are set in schools to be slice of life just because the characters are quote-unquote normal. I feel like in order to be slice of life, it has to be kind of comfy, very little conflict, and not all school shows meet that criteria at all. There's no adults in the show. Yeah, maybe that's why people like it. I think that honestly the funniest thing that the Snoopy cinematic verse did was doing the wah, 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 wah thing. As someone who's watched Lucky Star 4 times, Lucky Star is amazing. Yes. We love Lucky Star here. Lucky Star was one of my first favorite ever animes. I was obsessed with Konata when I was younger. I was like, she's just like me. Yeah. She was just like me in the end, wasn't she? Konata's so cute. And so is Kagami too. Kagami and Konata are my favorite characters from Lucky Star. There are a lot of really cute characters though. It's such a good show. For what it is, you know. You're not gonna get any sort of intrigue or you're not gonna think about things very deeply. Just a fun, cute, silly show. And it really reflects the time period well, like what was popular back then. It's like a time capsule. Gabriel Dropout. I don't think Gabriel Dropout is a slice of life. I feel like it's more of a comedy with a few slice of life elements. I don't know. I actually never fully watched Gabriel Dropout. I watched like a few episodes and a few scenes, but it looked pretty funny. I like Satania. She's my favorite character, even though I haven't really watched it. Satania is she's just cute. And also hot. I like her red hair. Yeah. And she's a good demon girl. She's not a mean one, you know? I feel like that was the biggest shtick of Gabriel Dropout from what I saw in clips, is that like the angels were kind of naughty, but the devils were like actually really nice. I think that's what I remember. Hatsune Mike. Crap, Hatsune Miku. I only know about the blue-haired one. She kind of looks like Miku's smug little sister. A little bit. I think that's pretty accurate. I really like that art style, though. I read this one manga also by the same creator, I believe, or at least the same artist. And I don't think... There aren't that many people that have a more recognizable style than the Lucky Star art style. Funamusea definitely has a really recognizable art style, though. Sort of like Lucky Star in that sense. Oh yeah, did you guys see some of the drama with people getting upset at Funamusea years after the fact? I just think it's so weird. I think it's really strange how people can get that upset over these characters in a video game where the bad ending ends badly. Like, let me just say this. To a certain extent, I would be able to understand their point of view. Well, I do understand their point of view, but I would be able to sympathize with their point of view more if the games ended badly and it was supposed to be seen as a good end, you know, like if the ending where Wadanohara, you know, joins the Red Sea, I'll just say vaguely for someone who hasn't watched Wadanohara yet, you know, where she becomes the Red Witch, I'll just say that because that doesn't really mean anything. You know, if that was portrayed as a good, positive end, you know, aspirationally, I could understand their anger a little bit more. But it's literally a bad end. It's meant to be bad. It's meant to be disturbing. Have you never played a video game before? With branching choices? I'm on it like a hawk and I will destroy them. I know, Missy, you will always have Funa's back. But I just don't understand even what the outrage is. It's a bad ending. It's meant to be bad. And also, you know, dark media exists. You know, not every single game is going to... anime, everything is going to have, you know, a light-hearted feel to it. This is a horror game, you know? And I just think that it's really, really ridiculous. And I'm not one of those people who makes the claim that, oh, you aren't allowed to be bothered or upset or think something is ridiculous in fiction. Of course you are. And there are certain things that go too far. Of course. You know? That's something that is a reality as well. But I think that with the case of Watanohara and Mogeko's castle, she's not betraying those to be good. You know? They're bad endings for a reason. Stephen King writes horror, therefore he is a murderer. Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of sad, to be honest. But you know, I do think though, if somebody doesn't like Funamusea's works, of course they shouldn't have to engage with it, and that's fine. Or if it makes someone uncomfortable, that's totally reasonable. You know, people like what they like and they dislike what they dislike. It's just a matter of degrees, I think, with everything. There isn't any hard rule that just because something's fiction doesn't mean that it's not bad. But also, you have to remember that fiction isn't reality. And also that bad ends are bad ends! They aren't good ends! I remember people were mad because Hell's Paradise is violent. I'm not surprised. A name like Hell's Paradise, and it's violent. What did you expect? Hell's in the freaking name! It's gonna be violent! There's gonna be blood! Yeah. Magical thinking is saying real things happen to fictional characters. Yeah. I do think, though, that people also need to be reasonable with that. I think that you shouldn't ever be like, oh no, the poor fictional character, who's going to protect them? Like, in a serious sense. You know, obviously you can feel bad for fictional characters because humans are empathetic beings. It's just a matter of, it isn't real, but the person who created it is. You know? And in some cases, I think that people are creating things that are bad and that do perpetuate negative stereotypes and negative things and just are bad, for lack of a better word, you know? But there's just always degrees, you know? And Funamusea's content is dark, but it, in the grand scheme of things, is really not that bad. It's really not. Saya no Uta has a happy end. Happy for Saya, I mean. Yeah. Now, these people would hate Saya no Uta, for sure. If they don't like Funamusea, they would hate Saya no Uta even more. But that's the other thing that I thought was funny about the Funamusea controversy that I was reading about, is them saying that she doesn't deserve her characters. Like, what does that even mean? You know, how can... Like, I understand the concept, but that's just such a dumb way of saying it. Even though their point is ridiculous, of course, but think about how dumb that sounds. You don't deserve your characters. Like, no. I mean, if you were to say it, like, at least in a proper English way, you'd be saying that, you know, the character designs are so cute that I can't believe that they come from this dark media, and I wish that they were in something cuter, or something like that, you know? Rather than, this person doesn't deserve their own characters. I don't think anybody deserves or doesn't deserve a character, if that makes sense. They aren't objects. Characters aren't objects. They also aren't real. They were angry that someone with such revolting stories would design good characters. I know, how dare she? How dare Funamusea be a good artist? Logic isn't common sense anymore, sadly. Yeah, tell me about it. Funamusea doesn't deserve her characters, bro. She made them. She can do whatever she wants with them. They aren't real. Chill out. Yeah. Like, you don't have to like what she does with the characters. You really don't, but saying somebody doesn't deserve a character is just a amazingly dumb statement. Yeah. Poor Funamusea, but make sure you guys go give Funamusea some love, you know, like her post on Twitter, you know, maybe buy some merch. Just show your love in some way. Because, you know, Funamusea might have a lot of people that dislike her, but she also has a very strong, supportive base. So, you know, give her some love. Give my mama some love. She's an amazing artist and very creative and talented. Yes. We stand the ghost. Yes, we do. I'm screaming all the love. So much screaming love. Yes, we do. I had that once where I played a game called Continent of Slaughter. I think it was, don't Google it please, and I just ended up broke and downloaded a romance VN afterwards to heal a bit. LOL. That's smart. That's a good idea. Sometimes you need something light to take off the edge a bit. I know I've done that before. Where I watch something really disturbing and I'm like, I just gotta rewatch. I gotta rewatch Lucky Star or something. Yeah. Rewatching. Would recommend. It's like watching it for the first time. Except it's the second time, or the third time, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth. I'm gonna take a drink of water. What do you guys think about the new schedule? It's a little bit odd for me. I think that it's working out well though. It just started. I've only been doing the schedule for less than 50 minutes. But I got off of work beforehand and got set up in enough time, so I think it's definitely something that I can commit to, and hopefully you guys can make it too on occasion. I love it personally. I'm glad to hear Oriented. I'm so glad. Because today is a free day for me, and Sundays too, so I love them. Great. Yes. I coordinated the times with all of the Pomodachis, of course. Oh yeah, earlier, I was sort of thinking, do you think that luck is real? Not in the sense that can people be lucky, because of course people can be lucky. But do you think that luck is more something that you're born with, or just something that is a coincidence time after time? Oh, God, that reminded me of that one French music video with the swimming pool and Cthulhu. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Yeah, where I feel like it's a mix of both, which is such a cop-out answer. But with luck, I think it's so weird because, you know, some people can start off super, super wealthy and have everything be going great, and then some horror bad stuff happens. But I don't know. Also, on the flip side, a lot of people are born with really bad luck, and that they have a lot of things go really wrong for them, to the point where it feels like, is it really coincidence, or is it fate? I feel like it is coincidence in the end, but it feels like fate because it's so pervasively strong. But I generally just feel like your circumstances when you're born dictate a lot of things, so it kind of makes sense that it would dictate how lucky you are. But you're definitely able to turn that luck around if, you know, if the coincidences line up, or potentially if you do something that's really incredible and amazing. But, you know, it's not to say that if you're amazing, everything's gonna go great, because we all know that's not true. But, you know, put the odds in your favor by being better, right? But yeah, in the end, I feel like it really depends on your perspective too. That's the thing, is you need to have a healthy view about what you can and what you can't control. People that think their environment controls everything for them will be deeply, deeply unhappy throughout their lives, because they won't be able to they won't be able to acknowledge their own accomplishments, and also when something goes badly, they'll never be able to change it because it's always caused by someone else or something else. But if you think that everything that's bad is happening solely because of yourself, that's also not a healthy way to look at it either, because then you're going to think when something that happens outside of your control, that's completely your fault, or like all of the horrible things in the world are partially your fault or something. You know, it's just a matter of having a balanced perspective. Also, for some reason my chat is frozen. What's going on? Let me fix this. Let me open this up again. Hello, chat? Are you there? The window isn't working. Oh, I can read it on my other screen, though. Something about dog poo, I can see. But I can't read the full comment. No, what's going on? Oh my god. 1 second. Let's try popping this out again. Alright, it's working now. Aryatin says, for example, I tripped today and stepped on dog poo, thus it is a bad day compared to I tripped and stepped on dog poo, but I still came across my friends today and hanged out today. It was a good day. Yeah, that's also another part of it too, is just looking at the whole picture rather than individual events. That too. Because when something really bad happens, you might tend to focus on that and forget about all of the good things that are happening as well. Bad things happen to me and something I get blamed for. Yeah, that's another thing too. When you have a overly, when you have a perspective of the world where everything is... Oh, I remember what this concept is called in psychology. It's called locus of control. Not locust, but locus of control, which is an individual's perception about the main causes of events in his or her life. So if you have an internal locus of control, that means that most of the things that happen to you are caused by yourself, by your actions. Whereas an external locus of control is where you mainly blame your environment or the people around you for your own circumstances. And people will always say, like, internal locuses of control are better than external, and generally it is better to have a slightly more internal locus of control. Not even just in terms of, like, you know, how you're gonna feel about things, but just in terms of how things might turn out if you have that sort of mindset, that you can control good things that happen to you, or you can make good things happen. That'll maybe lead you to have better things happen in general, and also be able to appreciate those good things more, you know? But if you go too far and have a, you know, too much of an internal locus of control, then that'll also be bad. So, you know, just in moderation, all things, or most things, I should say. But yeah, another kind of interesting psychological phenomenon that I'm sure you guys all know is when humans tend to have the tendency to, when they do something bad, it's because of external things that made them do that bad thing, or that made them do poorly, for example. Like if you were to, or if a person was to do poorly on a quiz, it would, maybe the reason would be because the teacher made the quiz too hard. Whereas if you, or that person who did badly on the quiz, was looking at another person who did badly on the quiz, they would think maybe, that person did bad on the quiz because they're stupid. Or something like that, you know? It's that tendency to blame bad things that happen to you on external things, but when you do well on things, you'll take credit for it. When you do well on a quiz, it's not because the quiz was easy, it's because you're a genius. You know? So that's something that tends to happen, which is kind of funny, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think generally it's probably a kind of healthier way to look at it that way. But you know, you have to be reasonable. You can't be holding others up to a higher standard than you hold yourself to. I got blamed for the toilet breaking even though it's not my fault. They called you a hypocrite and said that the toilet broken was my fault. That's weird. Well, I don't know about the situation between you and your toilet, but you probably didn't break it. It was probably already broken. For example, last night I was opening up a little mini shelf in my fridge and it was broken already, but I'd pulled it out and that fell, so it had, I guess, quote unquote, broken, but it was already broken, so yeah. It was already not working. It's not my bad. It's not my fault. Every now and then when I'm in social events, I get the sudden thought, this is stupid, everyone's stupid. My therapist says it's called cognitive distortion. Maybe. I don't know the exact term for that. I really know about cognitive dissonance. Yes. I usually feel like I did bad on the test, it's my fault for not studying. Yeah, and that's probably true. But you know, sometimes it is also somebody else's fault. You know? So just look at the situation critically and make sense of it in that way. Gonna have another drink of water. Whew. You know something that I've heard about for a while that I think is kind of odd? Have you heard about those people that journal every day? Or that like wake up in the early morning and just write? Like, write about their dream, write about their day, write about everything. Journaling. I've seen a lot of short content about it, and I can see how it would maybe be fun for like the first page, because people can make their journals look really, really cute, but I don't think that I could ever do that or ever want to do that. I remember my mom always encouraged me when I was younger to keep a journal or keep a diary, but I never wanted to really do that. I think I might have written in my diary like 12 times in my life. Not that many times, but it is kind of interesting when sometimes I look at my diary now, all 17 pages or whatever, probably less of it, and then see, wow, my grammar was horrendous. Or that I thought something really ridiculous, you know? I should start journaling about my dreams, not gonna lie, but only the cool ones. Yeah, that's one thing that I think is really cool about journaling, is writing about your dreams, but the other part of journaling, I don't really like. But I did for, I think about a month, or maybe a week, I don't remember. It was a week or it was a month. I wrote down every single dream that I had immediately after having it, and I was able to remember a lot of my dreams much better. Yeah, the best strategy for remembering your dreams is to write them down, or if you can't do that, to remember what happened literally like the second you wake up. To like go back and think, what happened in my dream again? Oh yeah, this, and this. Because for some reason, dreams tend to disappear out of our memory really, really quickly. If possible, you'd make audio logs. That could work as well, but you probably wouldn't be able to understand yourself because you'd be like all sleepy, sleep talk. I guess it'd be somewhat of an incentive to do something interesting to then have something to write down in your diary. That's true. I do feel like it would probably be pretty depressing to have a diary and then only write boring crap in it. That would be kind of sad. But that's probably the reality of most people's journals. Not to say that's a bad thing. Do people write that much about themselves or what happens in their journals, though. Whenever I see it, it mainly just looks like calligraphy practice rather than actually writing anything, you know? I used to do a little bit of journaling / diary when I was a teen, and a dream journal. Very interesting to see and look back on. Yeah, that's the thing that I think about journals and about diaries and all of that stuff. It's kind of not really that fun to do in the moment unless you have something that's really interesting to write about. But when you look back on it, it's kind of fun to see. You know? She just wrote what happened to her, or what happened to her in her dreams and stuff occasionally. Huh. I see. I think for me, I would maybe consider doing the dream journaling, but it would just be kind of hard. You know, you'd have to have a pen ready. And when I wake up, it's totally dark because now I have, what are they called? I have curtains. Yes, those things that go on the windows and block out the light. I have curtains now, so it's super, super dark whenever I get up and I have to open up the curtains. But even in the past, it still would have been hard for me to wake up and get a pen and start writing. You want to get a diary for everything that goes on in your life? I see. Have you guys heard about those things of people opening other people's journals or diaries and the other person getting really mad? And then the person who opens up the diary is like, what? I didn't think you'd be angry at me. Like, of course they'd be mad at you for opening it up. It's supposed to be a secret. It's supposed to be for you to write. And that is part of the nice thing about journals, is that you aren't writing to impress anybody else. You're writing for yourself. And I think that is a kind of rare thing, because generally my point of view is, if you're writing, you should generally be writing for someone else, because the point of writing usually is to explain something to somebody else so that they can understand it. At least in terms of academic writing. And then when it comes to stories and things like that, it can be a little bit more, you can be a little bit more selfish with your writing, because you might want to create a story that is interesting to you, you know? But when it comes to writing to explain something, or writing about news or events, you want to always write for the other person. You want your ideas and the events to be clearly understood. I do still feel, though, that when you're trying to write a story, you should also be writing for other people, because you want them to understand what's happening in the story. It's fine if you don't care about it, but then why would you publish it? You know? Why would you? Story-wise, I have the saying, write for yourself first, and then for the public second. I think that can be a good way to do it, especially if you're just doing it for fun. If you're like a professional movie script writer, then maybe I would reverse the two. But I think pretty much anything that you ever write that's creative is going to be written for yourself to some extent. To some extent, at the very least. Even if it's about a topic that you don't really like, you can always find ways to incorporate things that you like in it. Yeah, it's just like drawings or music. Exactly. I'm gonna take another swig of water. I actually made 2 fanfictions, not counting my other 2 crap post fanfictions. I haven't shared either of them, but I want to come back to them when I can, not gonna lie. That's good. I never wrote fanfiction ever. I knew a few people, though, that did, and it was always interesting how popular it was. Like, I didn't really read fanfiction either. I wonder if the primary readers of fanfiction were also people who wrote fanfiction themselves. I don't know. For those of you in the chat that read fanfiction, did you also write it? Or did you just read it? Because I'm sure reading it is more popular than writing it, but I wonder if there's like a significant overlap. Hydration check. I have that bad case of I want to write, but I'm lazy, and my stories are long. Yeah. That's me kind of with streaming sometimes, or with creating covers. It's like, I want to do it, but there's so many problems that get in the way. At least for covers at times, because I gotta get all this stuff ready, and I gotta get... it's annoying. That's why I like doing karaoke more. I like just doing the karaoke so I can just get it out. It's imperfect. It was definitely pretty imperfect during my my birthday stream. But you know, it was fun and it was done, you know? One shot completed. I hate when they read through someone's book and they find a secret they were not supposed to know and then got mad. Yeah! I think it's amazing when when people will go through somebody's diary and then read a secret that maybe says something about being angry at that person, and they're like, angry that they wrote it. Like, you weren't supposed to read it, my guy. Writing your own fanfiction is surprisingly fun. In my case, it's a bit of wish fulfillment, but still fun nonetheless. Yeah, I feel like, for me, if I'm ever, like, fantasizing about something, you know, I'll usually just think about it and not ever write it. Because it takes less time just to use your imagination than to write it, you know? When I was in 4th grade, I wrote like 3 chapters of a fantasy book, and each chapter was about 2 pages handwritten long. I did something similar to Fuzzy Mandrake. It was for a fantasy-ish video game with my main character, who was inspired by Hanyu. Her name was Mika Akane, which is like 2 first names in Japan, I think. Yeah, I looked up Japanese names, and I was like, I like the way that sounds. And I didn't know that they were both first names. I think my longest fanfic was a Toho fanfic that took me like 4 years to imagine and then never wrote it. What was it about? Who were the characters in the Toho fanfic? I feel like Toho fan content is probably the most famous. Oh, something interesting is I noticed, before I became a Funatuber, I remember Reina would stream a lot more, and I think Reina had a few fans that would actually write fanfiction about her. You know, like 1-page fanfiction or something. And so, I always thought that was interesting. I was like, I wonder if I'm ever gonna get any fanfiction. I didn't. But I feel like it's sort of different because with Reina, she has a very conceptual idea, you know, witches, deep sea, a lot of things that can have fan fiction written about, whereas I'm a radioactive cat girl, and that's mainly it. There's not as much, unless you want to, you know, write a fan fiction about me, like, dropping a nuke or something. There's only so much you could write about, I feel like. The main character was an elf named Seppo Aringlinghass, and he was 10 but really good at fighting. That's another thing that's always funny. When I was a kid and I would create characters that were like 14 years old, be like, they're so mature. It's like they're 14. The saddest Toho fanfic I read was Osana Reimu. That sounds sad. I don't know what that means, but it does make me kind of sad. Oh, let me see. The protagonist was an outsider. Basically, he murdered and then at one point was teleported because of Yukari to Gensokyo and lived there. Shit. Did you invent the isekai genre, Aryutin? How long ago did you write this? No. I have a Halo x Doom fanfiction where Doom Guy and Master Chief have to team up to defeat the Banished that are powered by demons. I have no plan for it, not gonna lie. You know what I think would be a really fun stream for me to do, if you guys were open to it, is if you sent me some of your fanfiction. Doesn't have to be of me, just your fanfiction in general, like your funniest one, or your best one, or one that fits in some way. If you sent it to me and then I reviewed it or read it on stream. As long as it wasn't NSFW. I feel like that could be kind of fun. Because I'm interested to see what sort of stories you guys wrote, even if I don't know the exact thing about it. Poneko X 3 Mile Island. Why? That's such a weird combo. Why? I would never do that. Come on. Then there's that messed up one, Koishi Komeji's Heart-Throbbing Adventure. I thought that was a song. I thought that was a song, not a fanfiction. What? Oh, wait, I remember this. There's something else I was thinking of. Okay. I mean, I'm not objective to sharing it. None of my fics are NSFW, so I can share it. Good, cooler. I might reach out to you guys in the Pomodachi server sometime. If you guys have like a link to it or something. Or if you just want to send it to me and you're okay with it being read on stream. Because it might be fun. It might be interesting. Hydration check. Gonna get some more. I guess summer's almost done. I think it's crazy that like a lot of kids start school in August. That sounds so miserable. For me, I would always start school in September. But when I went to private school for like a year, we had to start in August and it was awful. So shitty. I don't understand. Oh, Meowdy Red Conscript, how are you? Hello, hello. Yeah. Did you guys go to school in August or in September or even earlier? Because I feel like why not just start it in September? I mean, it's just gonna make everybody miserable going to school in the squelching hot heat. I feel like summer is definitely the best time of year, at least when you're in school, because you get it off. But if you had to go to school during summer, it would instantly be the worst season. It is miserable, Poe. Very miserable. I'm in school now. Squelching hot? What do you mean? What's your problem with that? It's super hot. Squelchingly hot. Squelching heat and Survivor. Yeah, that's... Yeah, like, it's super, super hot and you're super sweaty and sticky and sad. You mean scorching hot? No, I don't. Don't tell me what I mean. I mean squelching. No. It's both. It's both. But that's the winter/spring season for me. As someone who lives in the southern hemisphere, yes, I have been to school in August and September. Oh. Squelch verb, make a soft sucking sound that is made by walking through mud. Bedraggled guests squelched across the lawn to seek shelter. Don't you be posting dictionary terms in my chat. This is a place of communication, not a... And only sometimes is a place of learning, when it's convenient. Stop it. Oh yeah, this isn't related, but did any of you guys have hamsters growing up? And did any of you have hamsters that had lots of babies? I'm not Podenko, but thank you anyways. Oh, when I was in high school, we had to do PE during the summer, and it was miserable due to the heat. I will forever hold a grudge against summer purely for that. Ooh. Yeah, PE outside during the summer does not sound good. The words that come out of Pope's mouth should become the new words in the dictionaries if they don't exist already. Yeah, stop posting the dictionary in my chat and post my chat in the dictionary. I had a rabbit, basically an oversized hamster with long ears. That's true. They are kind of similar. I saw this video of a hamster earlier where it had like a little glow ball or something in its mouth. Let me get it. Glow ball hamster. Oh, no, that's not. That's not it. It had a little thingy in its mouth and it was glowing and it was interesting. But that isn't what I wanted to talk about. But now I gotta find it so that you guys see what I'm talking about. If you go through my likes, you'll probably see it. I'll go through them though. I'll get you guys all the best hamster videos. Actually, wait, I'm not seeing it. Well, I wasn't able to find the hamster video, but I did find this video, so here you go. Anyways, so back to hamsters. When I was younger, I had multiple hamsters growing up, but not by choice. I had one beautiful white hamster named Snowy, who gave birth to like 8 different hamsters, and I had to give them all away. So I made this little poster at school that advertised the hamsters, and I got to draw like a little Hamataro style hamster. It was really cute. And we ended up giving them all away successfully, or most of them, I believe, which was really, really good because my mom was going crazy having all these hamsters in the house. And the other thing about hamsters is they take up a lot of space for being so tiny, because you can't put them in the same cage unless they're babies and also the same gender. You have to separate them at a certain point, and it was really hard having that many hamsters. And then I accidentally put one of the boy hamsters into a cage with a girl hamster for like 40 minutes. Like, I was playing with a hamster, and I put it away and ate dinner, and then came back upstairs, and the hamsters looked like they were fighting, but they were actually doing something else that I can't say on stream. And so I separated them, and then, like, 10 days later, the hamster had babies. So, yeah. And I think I had, like, was it 3 generations of hamster babies? Just based on, like, little mistakes like that, I believe. Deep fry them chicken nuggets. They aren't even chicken! And no! That's mean. Not to the little baby hamsters. They were so cute. It was really interesting, though, because I felt like kind of the hamster breeder. Like, I felt proud about it. Because I had, like, these really cool colored hamsters that you couldn't find in the stores. Probably due to incest breeding. So I would have this, I had this one hamster that was, I think it was a red hamster with red eyes. Let me see if I even have any photos of that sort of hamster. Yeah, it was a red colored hamster with red eyes. I don't even have a photo that I can find on the internet that illustrates how it looked. It was really cool though. And then I also had a hamster that was black with little bits of cream color in its coat. It was really cute. And there was another really neat combination of colors that I had. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I had some pretty neat colored hamsters. It was sort of like when you pull 10 characters in a gacha and you get like the ultra rare red hamster with red eyes. Oh, I think I had one hamster too that had one red eye and one black eye. Which sounds weird, but it looked really cool. You can get some pretty interesting looking hamsters through inbreeding. Don't do it yourself though. Don't do it at home. Because you'll be sad. It won't go well. I think I also had one hamster too that unfortunately had like a cognitive defect where it had like really, really big eyes. So it looked kind of, it looked really cute actually. It looked super, super cute. And I only found out like, I think 2 years ago that it probably had a birth defect. But I just thought it looked cute. Yeah, I also had a calico colored hamster as well, which is pretty neat. I haven't really seen that many calico hamsters before. And of course, I've had cream hamsters too, which are very popular as well. Just a lot of variety. I was very proud of the quality of my hamsters. I mean, to be honest, they probably were better than like the pet mill hamsters that people got in the stores, right? The hamster gotcha. You had a heterochromatic hamster. That's like a legendary drop. Wait, how many hamsters you got in general? I think over the course of like 2 years, we had, I'm gonna say 25 hamsters? Actually, wait, let me do the math for this. So I had 2 hamsters that were teddy bear hamsters, and they were males, and one of them died pretty soon after getting him. It was very sad. And he had a brother that was a boy. Apparently, you aren't supposed to keep teddy bear hamsters together, but this was like 15, 16 years ago, and at the time, people thought that teddy bear hamsters got along with each other, but that Syrian hamsters were the ones that were aggressive. So I had 1 teddy bear hamster that was a male, 1 female hamster that I adopted from the store that was pregnant, that came to me pregnant, and then she had her babies, and I think she had 8 babies, so that's 10 hamsters for the first generation. And then there were like 2 more generations of, I think, probably like, let's just say 7. So probably around 24 hamsters total. Yeah, I think that was it. And when it came to the mother hamsters, there were, I think, 3 mothers in total. One of them was the one I originally bought. Then the calico was a mother because I accidentally put one of the hamsters in the wrong cage. And then one of my blonde hamsters, I accidentally put one of the boys in the cage again. So, yeah. Hamster. 24 hamsters, Hamataro Master right here. Yeah, you could call me the Hamataro Master. They weren't all at the same time, though, because most of the hamsters got adopted out to other people. I mean, pretty much all of them, except for 2, which were all of the moms. You know, the moms stayed longer because I liked them the best, and also because they were mommies. They needed to stay with their babies. Imagine having 24 hamsters at once, the chaos. Yeah, the smell. The pee smell, can you imagine? It'd be crazy. Yeah, I had some crazy hamsters. They were super cute though. Super, super cute. I was watching these videos of me earlier playing with the hamsters and like making like these hamster style videos. Yeah, I'm talking HMVs, hamster music videos. Where they'd be like dancing to some Cascada song or something. I probably still have them, but I can't post them because I would be doxing myself. But they're pretty good. They're pretty fire. I had this one where I even gave it like a little backdrop. I held up this photo of a house in the background for some reason. And then I just filmed with my webcam my hamster dancing. Yeah. Those were the days. The days of being the hamster mafia. I miss it. I do like hamsters a lot. I kind of actually want to get another hamster. Just because I miss having them. I wouldn't want to get one from a store though because I cannot deal with pregnant hammies. I can't do it again. I'm traumatized. I would really want to have a girl hamster again though. Because if you guys know and if you've seen boy hamsters have like ridiculously large balls, which is fine. It's kind of funny, but just look up a boy hamster right now. It's kind of distracting. It looks like a giant butt, kind of. It's a lot. But also the female hamsters are just really, really cute. Yeah, it's like every single time you would play with a boy hamster, you would accidentally touch their balls. Which I could do without. Well, look it up! Trust me, they do. I'm not lying. It's the truth. It's the truth. Oh, 1 second. Did I have another drink? Sus? What do you mean? It's not sus. Tell that to the hamsters. Tell that to the hamsters. I'm the one who's trying not to be sus by handling only female hamsters. Yes. Male hamsters are cool too. I just prefer the female ones. Nah, I trust you. Just thinking it became real sussy there for a second. Don't say that about me. Don't call me sussy. I am not sussy at all. Yeah, but get a hamster. Whatever gender is fine. I've noticed some people, though, tend to prefer, like, certain animals gendered. I've noticed that male animals tend to be, like, more popular. People tend to say more good things about them. And I wonder if that's really because they like male animals more or because of something else. What do you guys think? I'm not really sure. But I feel like male and female cats are both really good. I've had great experiences with both. I've had good experiences with male and female dogs. I actually think I've had better experiences slightly with like female dogs. Because there's been several boy dogs in my life and several female dogs in my life. And of the male dogs that I regularly interacted with, let's just say there were probably like 7 or 8 male dogs I would regularly interact with during my childhood and growing up and even now. I would say probably like, how many? Let me just count. There was that one dog, Sunny, and then there was also Bear, and also what was his name again? I'm trying to remember the dog's name that my friend had. His name was something dumb, I don't remember. I didn't like him though. Like 3 out of the 8 male dogs I've interacted with were like insane, which is slightly less than half. Whereas all of the female dogs that I've interacted with regularly have all been really nice. You know, like friends' dogs that were girl dogs, my dogs that were girl dogs. I don't think that there's any sort of actual pattern with that necessarily, but it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm just noticing a pattern, that's all. Pattern that I actually never really thought about before now. But maybe those people that are sexist towards animals are onto something. I don't know. Male dogs, female dogs, both are cool. It's probably just coincidence, but if any of you dog scientists out there know differences between female and male dogs that would maybe make that to be the case, please let me know. I'm curious. I think that maybe male dogs tend to have certain hormonal problems, maybe? Especially if they're not fixed. I know that for sure. Something really sad is if you get ferrets and you get female ferrets and they aren't fixed, they'll die in like 2 years. So you need to sterilize your female ferrets. And then if you don't sterilize your male ferrets, they'll be super, super aggressive and mean and crazy. So, yeah. Fix your animals, especially your ferrets. Yeah, male ferrets, though, have other health problems, but female ferrets will literally die if you don't fix them. No joke. It's very sad. Oh, also I accidentally closed everything, so let me open everything back up again. Ferrets? Huh, never knew that one. Yeah, if you look it up, female ferrets, if you don't fix them, will have really, really bad health problems and will just be in a lot of pain, so that's one animal that you definitely want to fix. I've never, I mean, other than like small animals, you should probably fix most pets that you have, because it's generally better for them. In the case of like hamsters and, you know, probably, I don't know how long do guinea pigs live? Maybe rabbits too. Generally better to fix them. But yeah, with the ferrets, it's not even like a matter of preference. It's just you need to. If you want your pet to survive, you need to fix it. What about birds? You a bird person? Do I look like a bird person? I'm not a bird person. I am a cat. I am a cat girl. But if you're asking me if I like birds, I'm okay with them. I like birds. I like how smart they are, and I do think that they're cute. Well, I actually don't necessarily think that birds are super cute. I more think that they're beautiful. That they're very aesthetic looking. But they kind of make me a little bit nervous. The beak, especially, when it comes to parrots and stuff like that. I don't like how they use their beak for everything to like climb on people. They grab you with their beak. It's kind of scary. Yeah, and those beaks can do some big damage. I mean, they use those in the wild to open up nuts with their mouth. It's crazy. 5 to 7 years for guinea pigs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people are supposed to fix guinea pigs. Probably, because guinea pigs usually live in groups, right? Yeah. I mean, I know as a cat girl, you probably find them yummy, but still. I do find chicken and duck pretty yummy. Do I eat any other birds other than that? I don't really eat duck that often. Super rarely. Because the skin is really fat. Toucans are not your favorite bird, I take. So, you would actually be wrong about that. I love toucans and they don't scare me. Because toucan beaks are made out of a hard waxy substance. I've actually held a toucan before. And I've also been bitten by a toucan before. Not to brag or anything, but a toucan has bitten me. But toucans, when they bite you, it doesn't hurt at all. It feels sort of like just something touching you. It's made out of like a hard waxy substance. It doesn't feel hard like a beak in the same way. I don't even know what it's made out of, but yeah, it's sort of like if you took an apple and you touched it on your skin. That probably isn't actually super accurate. But yeah, it does not hurt at all being bit by a toucan. But it would hurt if you were bit by a conure. Alright? Aren't their beaks serrated? No, I don't think so. Like, toucan armed with a knife or something. Let me get up the toucan facts for you. Well, this one just says why toucan beaks are big. Look at that. Does it hurt to be bitten by a toucan? Yeah, I prefer birds that don't have super big beaks. Let me go. Yeah, it says toucan bites cannot break the skin. Partially because they don't have leverage, but also because of the material. Geese actually have teeth on their beaks, yeah. A lot of people are scared of geese for that reason, I think. Yeah. I remember I saw geese once, and, well, not just once. I've seen geese many times, but I saw these really big geese. I didn't know that they were geese because they were so huge. But I was walking around and I saw the geese poo. And I was like, there's no way that came from a geese. And the person with me was like, yeah, it's from a goose. And I said, there's no way. That's from a dog. But that's from a human. That's so much poo. But then I saw one of the geese. Or I saw one of the gooses poo. And I knew he wasn't lying. Anyways, I think I should probably head on off and get myself some food, but I hope you guys had fun. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope to see you guys on Sunday, my new regular streaming time at 5 p.m. Please be there. Alright, I will see you later. Thank you guys so much, and remember, Pomodate Pride! Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.